Son calma. Eleazar, can you hear me? Mr. Eleazar, are you there? Maybe his mic's not working. So I'm not really sure what's going on with everyone else. So I mean, basically, so we wanted to discuss this afternoon. Eleazar, can you hear me? I'll need someone to read for me. It's not responding, and there's no one else on right now. So we wanted to talk about the hidden hand to destroy the Hebrew Israelites in America. 1 second, let me see who this is. Maybe this is someone that could. Oh, Richard. Hey, shalom, Richard.
Hey, brother. Shalom.
Shalom. Eleazar, what's going on with you? You not sent? I don't even see a mic to unmute him. Nevertheless, so I mean, so what we wanted to discuss today, I don't know how many of you actually really watched the fake news, Fox, NBC, ABC, and all the other entities out there. Good, Yashabum is here. He'll read because I can't get Eleazar to respond. Yashabum.
Con.
All right, sure. I just wanted to make sure I could hear you. So yeah, I mean, so basically, I mean, I don't know if you guys have actually watched. Has anyone seen the news? What actually happened in New Jersey Wednesday about these two black guys actually going into the person with that noise? Can you mute that, please, kindly? He said his phone is going on a trip again. I don't know, but nevertheless, so I know Deloitte saw it. I mean, how many others actually saw what's going on in the news in New Jersey about these two guys actually, shooting up a Jewish store and, having a shootout at the cemetery. And, they're allegedly saying that these guys are Israelites. And so my take on the whole matter is that there's a hidden hand that's orchestrating the destruction of Hebrew Israelites. And the reason I'm saying that is because they haven't associated them to any camp, right? I mean, it's relatively synonymous to saying that, someone committing a heinous crime as these men did and just say, hey, you know what? I belong to this group. But since there's a hidden hand already orchestrating the destruction of the Hebrew Israelites, this is their opportunity to paint the Israelites as a hate group, as a group to be threatened or feel threatened by, and so on and so forth. But that's contrary to the history of the Israelites. Most of the Israelites that you listen to, they always tell you, wait on the Lord. Wait on the Lord. They never tell you to go and attack anyone or anything of that nature. They tell you the Lord's going to do that. The Lord's going to bring judgment. They don't say they're going to do anything. In fact, people has literally laughed at Israelites because they say we're waiting on Hamashiach Yahweh Shah to bring judgment. But that's not the paper. That's not the picture or the image that this media propaganda machine is painting. And so we're going to go into that. So tonight, we do not only want to expose those in the conscious community, like this guy I was listening to on Satnet that call himself Garfield, and a cat, a raccoon, a coon, should I say, is nothing but a big cat, because he was definitely walking like that raccoon. You see what I'm saying? And so, and you can take the rat off it and just leave the coon there. This man was behaving like that. He was saying Israelites. I mean, he was painting Israelites pretty much as a terrorist group and so on and so forth. And he was saying that Israelites hate other melanated people, which is the furthest thing from the truth that I've actually heard. And so tonight, we not only want to expose those in the conscious community like Garfield that wants to destroy the Israelites, but we also want to expose the hidden hand that is plotting to wipe out the Israelites. Now, some of you can't really see what's going on because you're under the media spell. You're spellbound. I'm talking to the masses of the people out there that's going for this nonsense. But this is bigger than, the typical man, the typical mass media. Let me remind you what the scriptures say. Good brother, Yashabam, can you get the book of Ephesians, chapter 6, verse 12, to prove all things? See, this is bigger than man itself. This is spiritual wickedness, and it's definitely coming from high places. You have the governor of New York, pretty much, stood up and issued threats about, what's going to happen to the Israelites. So you got that, brother, Ephesians 6 and 12.
Con, Ephesians 6 and 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places.
So this is what we're facing. Now, although you see men out front that's saying this is actually orchestrated by the spirit of Nakash, by the spirit of the Shaitan, by the spirit of the devil. These men that's actually attacking the Israelites. I mean, think back, Yashabum. The Israelites actually been, well known in this country since what, the 1800s. The 1800s, this movement was actually in America. Now, from then to now, how many violent incidents have you seen with the Israelites? And my next questions that I want you to reflect upon, which is rhetorical, when a white person goes into a school and shoot the school up, why don't they say, well, we got to do something about these Christians? You see what I'm saying? They don't pinpoint them like that. So why they pinpoint Israel? And we don't even know that these guys, that's guilty of this were actually Israelites. Because I know most of the Israelite groups throughout New York and pretty much the country. These guys don't look familiar whatsoever. And I don't know any Israelites to say, yeah, I know him. You see what I'm saying? So it's almost like some conspiracy theory to exacerbate tension in the white community, in the other communities, and in America in general, to anyone that they see with fringes on, that they become upset and see you as a threat. That's what they're engendering into the minds of the people. This is what your government is doing.
That's how it starts every time.
This is what the government is doing. They're engendering that into the minds. Hold on. You have a question, JB? I see is that a thumbs up or hands raised? JB, do you have a question?
No, I don't have a question.
Yeah, I just saw a thumbs up or something there. All right, cool. All right. I mean, so essentially that's what's going on. So you got to keep your ears to the street and pay attention to what's going on, because this is not the first time that something like this has actually occurred, but I'm going to go into it. So now what's happening because of these isolated incidents, and they're trying to bring the incidents together. And then they try and paint all Israel groups as they're a whole, a one body. They don't do that with Christianity. When Timothy McVeigh done what he done in Oklahoma, did they say, yeah, we got to look out for these Christians? See, this is the same thing that they done with Islam. And they place all Muslims in a category, and this is what they're trying to do to Israelites. But it happened before. It happened with the Black Panthers. It happened with the Black Panthers. The government destroyed that movement. And initially, the Black Panthers didn't start out as some hate group like the government painted them as. See, that was a hidden hand orchestrating that. There was a hidden hand behind the scenes that was orchestrating that. They infiltrated the members with CoIntelPro. Then the guy named Judge, he's working against his own people. He turned out to be a damn snitch. This is why we have to be very cautious about the people that we allow around us. But we have nothing to hide. You can't, because of a few isolated incidents, you're going to pinpoint someone's entire religion. That is wicked and it's atrocious. So from there, let's get the book of Psalms 35, verse 11, good brother. That is wicked and it's deceitful. But that's what they do. So this is what we're going against. We're going against principalities, spiritual wickedness, against rulers of darkness. Why rulers of darkness? Because they operate on the left-hand side with Satan. You got to admit that this is wicked, man. Why are they not doing this about any other people out there? Just pinpointing Hebrew Israelites. When you got school right now, if you look at the Trump rallies, I don't know how many of you know, but a lot of the Trump supporters has gotten violent. I could go and pull up, episodes right now. When someone's against Trump, these people has actually been getting violent. Why are they not calling them a hate group? Donald Trump say a certain thing, it exacerbates tension, and his followers go out and get violent, and you can't even call me a lie. And so this is what they're see, you got to be able to understand that hidden hand behind the scene that's orchestrating all of this. See, the plot is to get the entire country to see Israelites as a threat so that they could actually be attacked. And then when this hidden hand, the de facto government, decide to make a move, it'll look justified in the eyes of the masses of the people because they're putting the people to sleep. So get that, good brother. Psalms 35, verse 11.
Psalms 35, verse 11. False witnesses did rise up.
This is what's going on now. You got Bellagio standing up, calling Israelites a hate group. You got the head of the Southern Poverty Law, Law Center saying that the Israelites are a hate group. But check it out. I've done research on the founder of that group. Don't you know this man has actually been accused of racism? But he's calling Israelites a hate group.
Crazy.
Go ahead, finish that out, good brother.
Psalms 35, 11. False witnesses did rise up, and they laid to my charge things that I knew not.
So most Israelite camps saying, who in the hell are these guys? We don't know them. You got brothers calling, but do you know these guys? No, I don't know them. Do you know? No, I don't know them either. So who are they? It's almost like they're supplanted. And I looked at the history of these guys. The guys have criminal records already. You understand what I'm saying? So just because someone, and this is, remember when I told you, Yashabam, we got to be very careful who we allow our attire to go out to. Because you'll have, and this right here is prophecy again. You'll have some damn knucklehead like this. He'll grab a true disciples of Christ shirt and go out and do some heinous crime and say, look, the media is going to say, look, he was a member of them. You understand what I'm saying? This is why I'm saying we got to control anything that the true disciples of Christ is on. Who has it? Because case in point, if this guy was wearing a shirt or something that belonged to one of the camps, they would have directly affiliated him with the camp. This is why you got to move circumspectively, because the devil is hard at work. See what's going on, man. The conscious community, they're no threat. They're not doing anything. The Nation of Islam is no longer a threat. You understand? The Black Panthers is no longer a threat. There's nobody in these streets like the Israelites. And guess what? The Israelites are spreading like a plague. They're growing up all over the country and in foreign countries. And you don't think CoIntelPro sees that? They see that. So they're saying, hey, man, this started off as some small movement. Same thing they said with the Black Panthers. We got to do something to stop this. So each opportunity that they get, they're painting the Israelites as a hate group, as a threat, as someone's to be feared. And you can't identify one camp that's going out and telling people to do what this government and this media is accusing them of, and try to actually engender into the people's mind. You can't show one camp. So it's clear to me that the federal government and its corporate states, is corporate de facto states are attempting to destroy the Israelites as they destroyed the Black Panthers. I want you guys to think about what I'm saying, right? Because most people are not seeing this, but I see behind the scenes. So the Israelites are now under siege. Look what happened when the incident happened with IUIC. They see all Israelites as doing that. Now they're trying to link those together. This is what they done with the original Black Panthers. I'm not talking about the Black Panthers today because they're kind of a joke. You see what I'm saying? They're nothing compared to the original Black Panthers. In fact, the original Black Panthers don't even really credit them. See, to destroy the Black Panthers, they used deceit. They infiltrated the member. They got the guy named Judge to be an informant. He was a former CoIntelPro going to the FBI. J. Edgar Hoover got some other Black people to infiltrate the ghettos with heroin. This is your government that did this. And you can't call me a liar because now you can look at the unclassified documents. They use deceit. They use false information. They use the media to promote them as a hate group. Same thing they're doing to the Israelites. There's a parallel here. They also participated in overt and covert assaults on people's lives. They attacked them. They was being harassed every time they went out. And right now, Israelites, hey, you're under attack. You're under their scopes now. You're being assaulted by the media. And every damn media has a different story. One group is saying, well, he used to be affiliated with an Israelite group. So damn what? What if he was a Christian? Would they have mentioned that? No. Why is it, again, I want you to think, when these white Christians go out and shoot up schools, why don't they pinpoint the religion? Why don't they say a Protestant did it? Why don't they say a member of the Watchtower did it? Why don't they say a Christian did it? Why are they using the term Israelite? No, it was just some crazy man that went out and done what he done. That has nothing to do with his religion. But you see how they try and link that together? So they trying to make the Israelites like the Muslims. You understand? You got to see the hidden hand that's going on behind the scene, man. They're training the people's mind to attack Israelites. And some of these, rednecks and good old boys and so on, they said, man, yeah, we got to do something about them goddamn bastards over there. You know that's going on, man. They're shining off their 30-30s. They're shining up their AR-15s. Because now, when they see fringes, they're going to see you as a threat. That's what the media is doing. And if you can't see this, you're blind. This is they want you to think, they want the Americans to think that, well, these guys are prone to violence. And so, which is totally contradiction, because like I said, this Israelite movement has been going on in America since the 1800s. Since the 1800s. Now, how many incidents have you heard with Israelites being violent? And so on and so forth. And so the next thing is this in itself is racial hatred on the government's part. How dare the government, how dare Bellagio to fix his damn lips and call Israelites a hate group because two men who acted from their own accord done those awful things. I seriously doubt if any Israelite camp would agree to what those men did. That has nothing to do with Israelites or their religion. It's them personally. These men already had previous crimes. This is all part of the plan, man, to stop, because the Israelites are growing rapidly, man. They're growing rapidly and they don't like it. And it's dangerous because you got Bibles in your hand. So this is racial hatred coming from their side, not the Israelites. Not the Israelites, man. Why are they not nominating the Christians as a hate group? Why are they condemning an entire religion because something that one or two men did? See, unless the world is blind, they should be able to see that it's okay when a person that's Jewish talks about the Holocaust, but it becomes very offensive when the 100 million descendants of slaves talks about the Black Holocaust. Hey, why don't you just forget about that? Why you keep bringing that up? If you don't see that, you're blind. See, there's a hidden hand orchestrating this. See, racism is very present in America and very present in the government, very present in the police forces, and so on and so forth. Is that not hate for them to be able to talk about what they want to talk about? Then when you bring it up, hey, why don't you just forget about it? Let's move on. Why don't we move on for her? They're telling you to move on for her, but they are allowed to have a memorial each year. There's something very wrong with that picture right there. See, it was clear to me that when Timothy McVeigh and all these other incidents that took place here, that they didn't use media propaganda to say, oh, look, we got to do something about these Protestants. Where was the Southern Poverty Law Center calling Protestants or Christians or Baptists a hate group? Where were you then? See, this is an attack to destroy the Israelites, but we're going to survive this. We're going to survive this. And, it kind of like, it irked me to hear Garfield, that Tom on Satnetta. And by the way, Satnetta, appreciate you for bringing that up and supporting the Israelites. But that Tom being on your show and banging on the Israelites as he did. So from there, let's get the book of Exodus 23, verse 1. Let's see what the scriptures say about these false reports, like people like Garfield. And he was eating it up. This man, Sam, I don't know if you guys listen to this. This dude sound like a damn informant. He sound like a damn CoIntelPro member, man. He was totally in compliance to everything that the media and Bellagio was saying about the Israelites. He talking about Israelites hate other blacks and so just garbage, man. So get the book of Exodus 23, verse 1 up.
The book of Exodus, chapter 23, verse 1. Thou shalt not rise a false report.
Yeah, you're not supposed to give a false report, Garfield, but you don't care. You don't even believe in the Lord. And I tell the rulers, the pharaohs of this country, you're not supposed to give a false report. You're supposed to bring the proof first. Oh, well, he might have been affiliated with an Israel group. Well, which one? If he was affiliated with an Israelite group, which one? Since you got so much information, you got the CoIntelPro, and you can't tell us what group he's affiliated with? Read, brother.
Put not thy hand with the wicked.
Yeah, Garfield, you're not supposed to be moving with the wicked. You can't deny that this country has been unjust and wicked towards us, man. Read.
To be an unrighteous witness.
Yeah, so you're an unrighteous witness, Garfield. You're an unrighteous witness, Bellagio. What do you know about Israelites? You're just painting them as a hate group so you could destroy the movement. They're trying to wake people up. The Israelites is actually taking people off of drugs, out of gangs, and so many other things. They don't like that. They want you to stay in the gutter. They want you to stay in the projects because essentially the projects are not the buildings. You're the projects that they've been working on all of this time. From there, go to the book of Psalms 27, verse 12. Garfield trying to deliver us over to the enemies. Most of those people that came on that call last night from the so-called conscious community was trying to give the Israelites up. They was in compliance with the media, with Bellagio, and everyone else that was trying to paint all Israelites as a friggin' hate group.
It's 9 o'clock.
Psalms 27, verse 12. Deliver me not over unto the will of mine enemies, for false witnesses are rising up against me.
Yeah, they're rising up against the Israelites, these false witnesses. Man, they know we ain't no damn terrorists. They know we're not no hate group. We're reading from the Bible. Read.
And such as breath out cruelty.
Yeah. Garfield is breathing out cruelty. Blasio is breathing out cruelty. Oh yeah, we're gonna do something against this Semitism. Where are you guys when our people was hanging from trees? Where are you guys when our people are getting gunned down, reaching for their wallet? Where were you then? Are these people that's murdering us innocently? Is that a hate group? I contend that it is. From there, let's go for Psalm 69, verse 4. They hate us without a cause, man. You know why they hate us? Because they know we're the chosen people. And then they identify us as Black Hebrew Israelites. Well, black is a brand. We're not black. We're not black. Black is a misnomer. That has nothing to do with nationality. We're not going to allow you to pour that garbage on us anymore. Negro, black, color, African American. No, we're Israelites and Moors. We're not black. We're not no damn crayon. Read, brother.
Psalm 69, verse 4. They that hate me without a cause.
Yeah, they hate us without a cause. Read on.
Are more than the hairs of mine head.
Yeah, so there's so many of them that hate us, man, without a cause. Read on. This is all prophetic, man.
They that would destroy me, being my enemies wrongfully, are mighty.
Yeah, they don't even have a reason to be our enemies. We should be upset. Our ancestors was brought here in the holds of slave ships. We built this country. We was here before. Many of my ancestors were here before you got here. Read.
Then I restored that which I took not away.
Yeah, so you want us to give something we didn't even take. You understand? They want us to give something. They want us to restore something we didn't even take. As far as I'm concerned, we shouldn't even be paying any taxes. No descendant of slaves should be paying taxes in this country because of what you've done to us. But you don't want to talk about that. But you want to have a memorial for other people. And see, Garfield, that name is fitting for you. Because a cat is nothing but a coon is nothing but a big cat. A raccoon is nothing but a big cat. And this cat was really coon walking last night on Saturday Night's show, man. You understand? The people in the conscious community should just block that dude out, man. Now, I'm going to show you the parallel, the same thing they done to the Black Panthers. What was the Black Panthers doing? Were they a hate group? No. They got tired of people being killed in their neighborhoods. They got tired of police brutality in their neighborhoods. And then when a little child got hit, they decided, hey, well, we're going to do something about this. They set up their own stop signs and so on and so forth because you wouldn't do it. And so in the beginning, J. Edgar Hoover said, it's not, he sent out a couple of snitches to watch him. He said, it's nothing, just a few black people getting together. And that's not the word that they use. They use the N-word. But then when they started to spread all over the country, Hoover said, I thought you said they was nothing. Put some men on them. Get to one of them. They got to this dude that they called Judge, man. He became a snitch. That wasn't enough. They was knowing every move the Black Panthers was going to make because the damn snitch was inside. A snitch. Always one of them, man. They done the same thing with Malcolm, man. There's always one of them. Keep your friends close, man. Keep your enemies close, but your friends closer. And so that didn't work. They got to some Negroes in the hood and they infested it with heroin. Made them heroin addicts to destroy the Black Panthers. How many people know Huey P. Newton? He died in a drug bust. You see that? So from 1968 to about 73, there were certain Black Panthers that experienced false arrest. It's coming, Israelites. You better get ready, man. Anytime you want to stand up for the Most High, it's coming. They experienced assassination attempts. They experienced being railroaded by the court system. You already see that. That's in full effect today. They experienced police brutality. They experienced torture. Why? because of association. Is that not what the government trying to do now? These two assailants go out and commit a heinous crime, and all Israelites are guilty by association. Why don't you do that with Christians? And so now the government has turned their attention from the Panthers to the Israelites. Why? Because the Israelites are growing at an exceedingly inordinate rate, fulfilling the scriptures again. From there, brother, get the book of Exodus chapter 1, verse 8. Let's see what the Lord said. Let's see if we can find this in history. The Pharaoh of old had a death decree to destroy the Israelites. The Pharaoh of today has that same death decree. This is what they're talking about in the media. But we're not surprised at this. Fulfilling the scriptures again.
Exodus chapter 1, verse 8. Now there arose up a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph. Verse 9. And he said unto his people, behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we. 10. Come on, let us deal wisely with them.
See, wisely, that denotes a skillful way in dealing with someone. Good brother Yashobam. That means we're going to deal with them, but in a way, we're going to deal with them so skillfully that they're not even going to know that we're plotting on them. Let us deal wisely with them. Okay, let someone commit a crime and we point that to all Israelites. We blame all of them. Let us paint this heinous image in the minds of the American people to hate these people. So then when we raid them and we kill them like we did the Black Panthers, it could be justified in the eyes of the people. Come, let us deal wisely with them. Read on.
Lest they multiply, and it come to pass that when there fall out any war, they join also unto our enemies and fight against us, and so get them up out of the land. 11. Therefore, they did set over them taskmasters.
These are called police today. These are called police today, correctional officers, probation officers, and so on and so forth. Those are your taskmasters. The government is a taskmaster. They plot on you to make sure you go to prison. This is why 80% of the people in prison are so-called Black people. You know?
To afflict them with their burdens. And they built for Pharaoh treasure cities, Pithom and Ramses. 12. But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew. And they were grieved because of the children of Israel.
And this is what's going on today. They said, damn, these damn Israelites are all over the damn world now. They're in every country. So now they're grieving. They said, we got to do something to stop this, man. These people are really unifying. You know, and then if they are able to, settle their little petty deficits and coalesce, we have a serious problem on our hands. What if they decide to get their own food supply, build their own schools, take all of their children out of our schools and do homeschool, build their own supermarkets? We got a problem. Deal with it. Read up.
13. And the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor. 14. And they made their lives bitter with hard bondage.
So they're doing.
And in brick and in all manner of service in the field. Service wherewith they made them serve was with rigor.
So I feel like, it's something that's, never going to end until the return of Hamashiach Yahushua. The scriptures say, the devil is going to come down with great wrath because he have a short time. So your commitment is going to be challenged by the United States government. Whether you're going to stand for Hamashiach Yahushua or you're going to fall out. The race is not to the swift. And because of your commitment that you made in the spirit of Yahweh Shah. We are being prosecuted by their media right now, by their governors. We're being punished for that commitment. For what? For believing in the laws of the Bible. So I'm very concerned. And at the same time, I'm very angry. I don't feel like it is right. I don't feel like it's something that should go unnoticed, because this is a plot, obviously, against Israelites. And I don't feel like the government should be able to get away with this continuous harassment that they're starting on Israelites. The same people who killed and destroyed Black Panthers right now are hard at work today to destroy the Israelites. I mean it literally. I mean, they set up, man always say he's going to set up a special task force in New York City. See, I don't know how many of you saw the news, man, but this is very serious. The governor's saying this. We set up a special task force for them. We're going to start dealing with these Israelites. So when the brothers go out and teach, guess what? You think it's going to stay in New York? No. The incident happened across the bridge in New Jersey. And it's going to spread all down south. So they, setting up that special task force, and guess what? They're going to participate in harassing you. And they're going to be able to justify it. These are the same people that cited the house of Israel, saying that they was too loud. And they went to court and they lost. These are the same courts you're going to actually have to go in front of, who are asking you the same questions. And they're going to interrogate you for that Bible. See, Israelites has actually, they're about to turn it up, man. So let me tell you a little bit about what happened, since I don't know if many of you, really watch the news. So they, the suspect in Jersey City, right? To those who don't know, Jersey City is right over the bridge, right? And so, they were saying it's linked to a Black Hebrew Israelite group. Totally unnecessary to put that there. I mean, they want people to know. And, they was taught, well, they've been already labeled a hate group. And they said that the suspect wrote anti-Semitic and anti-police posts. This is what one of the officials says. And I surmise this is actually on his social media, right? Because that's their way. They say, we're going to tell you more once we, we do some electronic tracking. And that means social media. See, a lot of you just keep leaving these damn paper trails all over. And so, this is the aftermath of a gunfight at a kosher market in Jersey City. Now, here's what you need to know. This is what they said, right? Thousands of people gathered at 2 funerals. Now, there's a police officer that was killed by these nuts also. An assailant had links to the Black Hebrew Israelites, but they're not telling you who. What group would they with if these men was Israelites? What group would they link to? That's defamation of the entire Israelite community. They say a neighbor knew one of the suspects and saw a change in the man. A kosher market was targeted. So whoever these guys were, apparently they was plotting on this kosher market. There was a shooting also at a cemetery, then a gun battle. Now, an assailant involved in the prolonged firefight in Jersey City, this essentially left 6 people dead. I don't know if you know this, including 1 police man, right? And this actually took place on Wednesday. And so they trying to link it to the Israelite movement. And they say that, this guy had actually published anti-Semitic posts online. Now, they said that this violent rampage, actually it took place on Tuesday at a, and I heard him talking about a lot Wednesday. It actually took place on Tuesday at a kosher supermarket where 3 bystanders was actually also killed. Now, the authorities now believe that the store was specifically targeted by the assailant, whom they identified as David N. Anderson, 47-year-old, and Frenchie Graham, who was actually 50. Now, how in the heck these men are in the Israelite movement and no one know who these men are? Now, Mr. Anderson, they say, appeared to have a connection to the Israelite movement. Though the extent of the involvement, they say they don't know. They said it remains unclear. So why even mention it if you're not clear on it? So they trying to paint some horrible image in the minds of the masses of the people to hate Israelites. Now, they made it very clear in his little soliloquy. He said the Black Hebrew Israelites had no connection with mainstream Judaism. That is correct, because Judaism is a way of life, which actually also include the Talmud. The Israelites study from the Torah and the Tanakh. And if you're Messianic, you also study from the New Testament. And so he also went on to say that the Israelites has actually been described as a hate group by the Southern Poverty Law Center. I'm pretty sure some of you know who that group is. Now, the authorities also suspected that the two assailants may have been involved in a separate killing in a neighborhood in Bayonne, New Jersey. So, I mean, it looks like these people was already, according to New Jersey's Attorney General, is what they said. Now, among those people that was killed Tuesday, it was 3 bystanders who were inside the store, and Most High, punish these men that done this, these heinous crimes. So 3 bystanders were standing by when the shootout began. And those people, they've been identified as Mendel Frenches, who was 33, who ran the market with her husband, Moshe. And then, there was a rabbinical student there who lived in Brooklyn, Miguel Douglas Rodriguez, who was actually 49. And they believe he may have actually worked at the store. And so one other person inside the store was actually wounded, but managed to escape, according to their reports. Now, the New Jersey police officer who was killed was identified on Tuesday as Detective Joe Sills. And he was a 15-year-old law enforcement veteran, and he was a father of 5 children. Now, for the funeral, there was thousands of people that gathered at the 2 funerals. And they was really speaking out against it. And this took place in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. They say thousands of people gathered for the funeral, and they went out and they spoke, and just talking about how bad it was. And so going back to this guy, one of these guys that they claim was an Israelite, they said that they found a live pipe bomb inside a vehicle that certain officials said on Wednesday. Now, whether this is true or not, we don't know. But you see how they try and link all this stuff together? This guy had a pipe bomb in the vehicle, is what they're saying now. Now, so the Jersey City mayor, Stephen Fulop, said that Mr. Anderson's online post, this guy that they say was an Israelite, included favorable sentiment towards anti-Semitic groups that he actually shared on Facebook. Now, again, they're saying while the exact beliefs of the Hebrew Israelites vary among groups associated with the movement, followers generally believe that the 12 tribes of Israel is defined in the Old Testament and different ethnic groups or nations. So basically what they're saying is, so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And now they went on to say that they mostly trade in anti-Semitism, And so the poverty, Southern Poverty Law Center has stated that they're a hate group and they view Jews as imposters. Now, the news conference, this man, Mr. Gimwell, said that, he would not comment on the assailant's motives. He just simply said, we're working to learn more about the shooter's motivation and whether anyone besides the two gunmen may have been involved. That's what they're saying now. But this guy's Philip, a grandson of the Holocaust survivor, he said that other New Jersey city officials had no doubt that the attack was a hate crime. So they're definitely calling it a hate crime. And so, you could quote some of them saying that there's no question that this is a hate crime and so on and so forth. Now, one of the neighbors, this guy, I want you to check out how they pinpoint the one that they're saying was affiliated with the Israelites, right? They don't really talk much about the other one. It's just the one that they're saying was an Israelite, right? So the neighbor said that he knew one of the suspects, the one that they claimed was an Israelite, and he saw a change in him, right? He said that David Anderson was actually in the Army Reserves from September 1999 to September 2003. And when he left, he was a specialist in the Army. And, he actually repaired fuel and electrical system. So in order for him to know that, he had to have some sort of relationship with the guy or some conversation with him, right? So he said this guy, Anderson, that they claimed was an Israelite, had a criminal record for previous weapon offenses in Hudson County in both 2004 and 2007. So, this man already had a criminal history. Well, why are you linking this man to the Israelites? This man was already like this. And it said he spent more than a year in jail back in 2007 for a weapons charge, according to the court records. So in 2017, he met Francine Graham, according to this guy that was the neighbor, right? And he said that, she'd actually lived he'd actually lived above this woman since about 2011. And he said now when Graham moved into the housing development in Elizabeth, New Jersey, from, back in Harlem, where she grew up, she was polite, she was diligent, she was hardworking, and she was a home health aide, right? This is what the neighbor said. And this neighbor didn't want to give his name and so on and so forth. He said she was nice and she was caring. She had a caring nature. She was a stand-up person, right? But then he said after she met this guy, Anderson, she changed. This is what the neighbor said about this woman, Graham. It says she transferred from a Mr. Jekyll to Hyde. Now, he painted a heinous picture of her right there. And he said, this guy Anderson seemed to move in with Miss Graham within days of meeting her. Now, how would he know when they met? You see what I'm saying? They could have met for, months. You see what I'm saying? But this neighbor, he described this guy Graham as a loser, right? Not pleasant. And a kind of overpowering, and someone with whom he had actually had squabbles with in the past, right? So the neighbor said that this guy Anderson, the one that they call an Israelite, seemed both to prey on and control the woman that he referred to as Miss Graham. So, he's basically saying this guy came in, this guy Anderson, and he changed the entire way that this woman was. He said once he moved in with her, this guy Anderson moved in, he began hearing loud noises downstairs. And he said this guy Anderson would actually repeatedly be playing audio recordings of a man the neighborhood believed was Louis Farrakhan. Now, what the hell did that have to do with Israelites? So he said the man he believed, man was playing, like lectures I got whatever. And he said that he believed that the man was Farrakhan. And so, and he's then while he was listening to Farrakhan, he's saying that this guy Anderson would start shouting out Bible verses, and then he would actually give his own interpretation of what they meant. And then the neighbor said that the most common theme was that Anderson religions was the only true faith. Well, I mean, isn't that just what everyone believed? That their religious belief is the only true faith? Isn't that what Catholics believe? Isn't that what Pentecost believe? I mean, come on, man. Don't be ridiculous. But nevertheless, he said that he eventually heard the lady, Miss Graham, join in chanting, but she sounded coerced. Now, how the hell could someone sound coerced? I mean, come on, man. She sounded coerced. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? This is what this man was saying. Yeah, she eventually joined in, but she sounded coerced. Like he was making her do it. How the hell can you sound like that? What does that sound like? What does it sound like being coerced, good brother Yashabah? And then he said she quit paying her her condominium because they was living in a condominium. She quit paying payments on a condominium, and then she stopped paying her water bill and so on and so forth. And so then eventually in 2018, her condo unit went into foreclosure. And so I guess they got kicked out. And then they said that the neighbor says that once they got evicted, they would repeatedly break in to the house, their former house, and they would leave each day around 6 p.m. And I mean that's basically the gist of it. What really what really happened and so on and so forth. But the mayor was saying that the perpetrator stopped in front of the place calmly and opened the door with two long rifles and then said, hey, whatever it is, and the people in shot side, and they just kind of like open fire. And but they said that the gunfire didn't begin between the police officers and the perpetrators, that these people went to the store first and started firing. I mean, and so basically this is what's going on. To those of you that didn't see the news or haven't really watched it in the news and so on and so forth. So pretty much, man, from that, an attack has been launched on all Israelites. And so I hope you can see what I'm talking about here. If this was a Christian that done this, they wouldn't have launched an attack on all Christians. They wouldn't attack someone's religion. This was an individual man that did this, or a couple guys. So how is it that an entire religious community is guilty of this? And all of a sudden you're coming down on an entire religious community. It makes no sense, man. This is a plot. This is a hidden hand to wipe out the Israelites. Let's get the book of Mark chapter 4, verse 19, man. You can't be with him, man. Book of Mark chapter 4, verse 19.
Verse 19, and it reads, and the cares of this world and the deceitfulness of riches and the lust of other things entering in choke the word, and it becometh unfruitful.
Yeah, when people start to focus on this damn world, like these worldly things, and most of these Negroes that came on Satnata's show was worldly. Many of you are worldly. You're trying to call yourself Israelite, but you're worldly. And when you focus on these worldly things, it choked the word, meaning the word of the Lord, that power, away from you, and it becomes unfruitful to you. You don't produce any fruit. You don't go out and you gather no fruit because you become worldly again. But you can't turn your hand from the plow and then come back. From there, let's go to the book of John 12 and 31.
John chapter 12, verse 31. Now is the judgment of this world.
So this world is going to be judged when Hamashiach returns. Ain't no Israelite talking about going and attacking nobody. The scriptures say, wait you upon me, saith the Lord. You know.
Now shall the prince of this world be cast out.
Who's the prince of this world? Satan. These are the spiritual wickedness and high places. So Hamashiach Yahushua is going to cast out the prince of this world. From there, let's go to the book of Acts 26 and 18. If anyone has anything they want to add, feel free.
Acts
I know y'all might be scared, man. Don't worry about it. I'm the one that's talking. You don't have to be afraid.
Book of Acts, chapter 26, verse 18, and it reads, to open their eyes and to turn them from darkness to light and from the power of Satan unto God,
Come on.
that they may receive forgiveness of sins and inheritance among them which are sanctified by the faith that is in me.
Come on. But what you think about this, good brother Eleazar? Nobody got nothing to say, huh? Afraid of face recognition. I noticed you all didn't look with your face, man. Yeah, let him get tired of dog. It wasn't me. Tired of dog, man. Niggas start getting like them, yeah, I mean, just, wow. Become frail, man. Feeble. Go ahead. Give me 1 Corinthians 9:25.
First Corinthians chapter 9.
Ain't nobody in here. Just us chickens. Go ahead.
1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 25, and it reads, and every man that striveth for mastery is temperate in all things.
Come on. So when you striving for something that's carnal of this world, you're temperate for all things. Read on.
Now they that do it to obtain a corruptible crown.
Yeah, you going for a corruptible crown. They're usually going for some kind of trophy or something, Yashabun. They might be going for some fiat currency, right? They want to win the Super Bowl, right? They want to win a ring, the basketball ring. That's a corruptible crown. What you're supposed to be striving for is an incorruptible crown, which is salvation. You know.
But we an incorruptible.
We doing this for an incorruptible crown, man.
Verse 26. I therefore so run, not as uncertainly.
Yeah, you can't run like someone in a cardinal race. Hey, Yashabun, they running like that damn Hussein Bolt in a damn cardinal race. They're not even sure if they're gonna win. You gotta run with certainty. You don't run with someone like someone that's uncertain. Read.
So fight I, not as one that beateth the air.
Yeah, you can't be like Floyd May. You ever seen Mayweather smack boxing, slap boxing? You fight in the air. You can't be out there like you fight boxing, slap boxing. You fighting for the Most High, man. You're fighting for your salvation. So you can't be fighting like one that's punching the air out there shadow boxing. Read.
27. But I keep under my body.
Yeah, you got to keep under your body. Protect yourself, King. Read.
And bring into subjection.
So you got to bring your body in subjection to your mind and your spirit. Because that body is what causes you to sin, man. You take away a man's body, he can't sin. That body causes you to sin, man. It is your mouth and your sexual organ that cause you to sin every single damn time. You send something out of your damn mouth or you're going to commit adultery. That's where you commit your sins. Go ahead, huh?
Lest that by any means, when I have preached to others.
Yeah, you preaching to others, but you're yourself going to end up being a castaway, not going to make it. Read.
I myself should be a castaway.
Con. So you got to like, and this applies to a lot of Israelites out here. They're out here preaching, but they're hypocrites. They're out here preaching, they done slept with other men's wives. They're out here preaching, they done slept with the best friend's wives. They're hypocrites. So they themselves are castaways. From there, let's get 2 Corinthians 11 and 14. Satan setting himself up as an angel of light. You had the devil standing up in New York City saying, we're going to do something about this. He set himself up as an angel of light.
2 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 14. And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light.
Come on. So I say to Morris D., the founder of the Southern Poverty Law Center, I've done some research on you. You was linked as a racist, and you calling other people hate groups. Israelites use their platforms to speak to issues of housing, education, employment, to speak to the issues of social injustice in this country, to speak to issues in criminal justice, in this criminal justice system, how our people be getting railroaded. That's what they don't like. And in many of the communities, the community that I came out of, there are lots of social injustice. There are lots of businesses that don't contribute anything to the community. They come into the community, they set up shop, and they take it back to their community. So the Israelites felt like it was time to do something about it, not just talk about it. Same thing the Black Panthers did. Suddenly they're a hate group. Suddenly they're a threat. And so when Israelites decided to, hey man, we're going to do something about this. We're going to work our people up. We're going to go out and, talk to people. You became a threat. You became a threat. So those people that decided to join an Israelite organization because they wanted to make a difference in the community, you became a threat. And so the media now is making accusation that these men that committed these heinous crimes are Israelites. Why haven't they linked it to a particular school or camp, good brother Yashabah?
So
why doesn't any Israelite men know who these men are? If a man is a Christian, got a question for you. If a man is a Christian, Delette, why doesn't the governor of New York go out and say, well, the Christians done this. We're going to do something about these Christians. Why don't you condemn that whole religion? You don't condemn the entire Christian religion. When the Pope's going out, touching on little boys. When the priest and bishop is raping little boys, they just move them to a different location. The Israelites has actually taken men out of gangs, taken them off of drugs, and put Bibles in their hands. Israelites are educating people on the realities of this world. Some of the criminal realities of this system that are governing them. And that's what you don't like. In the local communities and nationally, because they're all overseas and everywhere now. The Israelite camps or teaching people about studying, about educating our people, about what's wrong, about the structure and the policies of the housing. This is what you don't like. They're waking people up. We teach people about what's wrong with the prison system. Why is there so many of our people in prison? About the criminal justice system. And you don't like that. And so, you know why you don't like it? Because people are beginning to listen. You see how the Israelite groups are starting to multiply and multiply and multiply, like the children of Israel of old. And so the modern day Pharaoh said, come, let us deal wisely with them. And you're being wisely dealt with. They're using the media to wisely deal with you. And I hope everyone can see this.
I got something.
Bring it up.
Hey, does anybody else not see how wicked it is to allow someone in a position of power to take advantage of their children years, and many years. It don't get put in the newspaper. It just gets brushed under the rug. As soon as technology advances, it gets out into the mainstream media, and then they just move them to another location. They just pay out some fiat to the surviving victim and or family member, and just pass over like it never happened. It's still going on today.
Con.
Being put out in the forefront.
Con. What do you think so many children come up missing, man? They got these children, man. They have these little children, man. These children come up missing all of the time, man. Children mysteriously disappearing.
Over 300,000 a year. And that's
sacrifices.
That's known about.
Sacrifices.
But I mean, I get a fire in my bones when I think about it. So if y'all really not up on looking at like unclassified documents on previous events that happened here in America, such as like Watergate, the assassination attempts on different groups, the purpose of the inception of the alphabet groups, you might want to get up on that, so that way you can really walk circumspectively. So that way you don't just take it, let it go in one ear out the other.
Come on.
You guys need to get a full perspective of what's really taking place, and it happens in cycles. That's all I got.
People better wake up, man. And so, the environment, that most of us live in, is very oppressive. And so the message put out in the media a few days ago was created to disrupt our function. Now, you watch what I'm saying. You're going to watch Israelites. They're going to start to get pulled over a lot more if they're driving, if they're walking, watch the harassment. They're going to turn it up. Don't be surprised if you have an AR-15 in your face, man, at point blank range. This is all Bible prophecy. Matter of fact, let's prove that. Let's get Matthew 24, verse 9. I'm not surprised.
Book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 9. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake.
They hate you because you got that Bible in your hand, talking about Hamashiach Yahushua.
And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another.
That's what Garfield was doing. He was betraying his own people, man. Read.
And shall hate one another.
And that dude hate us, man. He was expressing that. He hate. And so I'm telling you, man, many of you Israelites, you're going to begin to feel that your lives are in danger, because everywhere you will go, you will be confronted by police. You're going to remember that I said this. It's called organized harassment. Is what you will be actually come to realize. Organized harassment. And so, as a means to protect yourselves, you may want to start traveling in small groups of 3 to 4. Because if you they see you alone, you got fringes on, man, you might be the perfect victim, man. You might be because this is why they're painting the image of these guys. You see how violent they are? He's gonna say, I thought he had a gun. Knowing damn well Israelites don't carry guns and stuff out the camp, man. And so the other thing that they don't like about the Israelites is because they're vocal. They're very vocal, right? And what's dangerous is people are embracing Israelites, right? People are really listening. And so that's why the federal government still secretly has a program called CoIntelPro. Counterintelligence program. To all of you that think CoIntelPro is over, you're off your rocker. CoIntelPro, to those of you who don't know, it was actually a series of covert, secret, and at times illegal projects conducted by the United States Federal Bureau of Investigation aimed at surveilling, infiltrating, and discrediting and disrupting certain groups in America. Black Panther was a victim of that. Malcolm X was a victim of that. And the list goes on and on. See, the FBI records even show that CoIntelPro resources targeted groups and individuals that the FBI deemed subversive movements. Do you understand? They was even watching feminist organizations. They think they're doing something on their own, man. They was watching all sorts of people. They was watching the Vietnam organizers. Any kind of activist, CoIntelPro was there. Black Panther movement. You understand? The American Indian movement. And any kind of independence movement, CoIntelPro was Johnny on the spot watching it. And if you don't think that you're being watched, you're off your rocker. You're off your rocker. Let's get Ephesians chapter 2, verse 2, good brother.
Book of Ephesians chapter 2, verse 2, and it reads, wherein in time past ye walk according to the course of this world, according to the prince of the power of the air, the spirit that now worketh in the children of disobedience.
Con, the prince of the power of the air. It's talking about Satan, man. That's the prince of this world, man. Now, which world are you going to walk according to? Better strive for the straight gate. From there, let's go to Luke 13:24.
Book of Luke, chapter 13, verse 24. Strive to enter in at the straight gate.
That's what you better do.
For many, I say unto you, will seek to enter in and shall not be able.
A lot of you are not going to make it, man. A lot of you are not going to make it, man. Don't fall out of this truth, man. I know a lot of you getting scared. I don't know. From there, let's get 1 Corinthians 9:25. You better strive for that incorruptible crown, man.
First Corinthians chapter 9, verse 25. And every man that striveth for mastery is temperate in all things. Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible.
Con. Hey, that's all I got, man. People need to keep their eyes open and pay attention to what's actually going on, man. Don't fall for the okie doke. You know, keep your third eye open, man. You could be deceived by these two eyes in front of you. Those are the most inaccurate organs in the body. Anyone got anything? You got anything, Shaw?
Yeah, I mean, it was very powerful today, brother. Listening and observing. I just want to know, what was that chapter on Ephesians? The first one, Yashabam read on. It was right after Acts 26 and 18.
The one talking about running in a race. Is that the?
You're talking about 6 and 12. That was the first one.
Yeah. Con, my bad. Yeah, 6 and 12. Yeah.
For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, and against rulers of darkness of this world, and spiritual wickedness in high places.
Con. It's powerful, man. Just observing, taking it in, man. It's powerful.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
It's definitely a plot, man, to to destroy Israel, because you're waking people up, man. And if you really think about it, man, what other movement is really out there now? I mean, they're not concerned about the Nation of Islam anymore, man. Some people don't even know the Nation of Islam still exists. So-called conscious community, what are they doing? They're not doing nothing, man. They're just on starting another battle in each other, man. For fiat. So I mean, the people you see out here in these streets, on these highways and byways, are the Israelites, and they don't like it because they seeing. I mean, think back just 5 years ago. It wasn't like this, man. Like everywhere you look, you're seeing another group pop up. They said, "Damn, these guys are everywhere." Like every city now, man, you see them. Like every city, man, you bump into Israelites, man. Yeah, when I came into this thing, man, you could really find, if you went outside of New York City, you could really find Israelites. You understand? Unless it was some people that was actually over to Connecticut and the ones out in California, because they sent them out to set up certain camps, man. But outside of New York City, you would really find Israelites, man. But now, everywhere, there is us. The children of Israel are becoming more mighty than us. Come, let us deal wisely with them. So that's what Blasio was standing up to do. We're going to have to do something about them, man. They got to go. They're waking their people up. It's basically what it is, man. So you got to tarnish them. We got to do something to tarnish them, man. We got to make them. How many Israelites you see going around attacking people, man? They always say, "Wait on me." Hey, Yashaban, give me a high guy 2:22. The scriptures are forever telling Israelites, "Wait upon me." I know Israelite going out to saying we're gonna attack. That's not what Israelites teach, man.
Look at Haggai, chapter 2, verse 22. And I will overthrow the throne of the kingdom.
Who's saying that? The Hamashiach Yahushua is saying that. This is talking in the spirit of Hamashiach Yahushua upon his second return. Read.
And I will destroy the strength of the kingdoms of the heathen.
So he's not saying we're going to do that. The Lord is saying he's going to do that thing. The strength of the kingdom of the heathens. They know this. This is what they're afraid of.
And I will overthrow the chariots and those that ride in them.
What is a modern day chariot? One of their M1 Abram tanks. What is a modern day chariot? A Bradley tank. What is a modern day chariot? One of their staff bombers, Apaches, and so on and so forth. From there, let's go to Zephaniah 3, verse 8. Again and again, the scriptures is saying, "Wait upon me."
The book of Zephaniah, chapter 3, verse 8. Therefore, wait ye upon me, saith the Lord.
So the Lord said to wait on me, man. You can't do this. All Israelites teach this. Read.
Until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms to power upon them mine indignation.
That word indignation means righteous anger. Righteous anger. Read up.
Even all my fierce anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy.
Come on. Yeah, from there, let's go to the book of Joel. Joel 3, verse 9. Some of you might pronounce it Joel. And I'm not talking about Osteen.
Joel 3, verse 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles.
So the Lord said, proclaim ye this among the other nations. Read on.
Prepare war.
They know this. They know this. Read on.
Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Verse 10. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I'm strong.
So the Lord is speaking this. Read on.
Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord.
See that? The mighty ones he's talking about right there is the angels. So this is talking about Hamashiach Yahushua and the angels returning for the war of Armageddon. That's what this is talking about. This is what Israelites teach. Israelites don't teach attacking anyone. That's all rhetoric, man. That's a hidden hand to destroy the Israelite movement. That's exactly what that is. And that's all that is. You know, Israelites out here talking about going to attack anyone, anything of that nature, man. That's all rhetoric. And so, there we have it. I guess Sirach 12 and 10. Sirach 12, verse 10 in the Apocrypha.
Ecclesiasticus, Book of Sirach, 12, verse 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so shall his wickedness.
See that? Can't trust them, man. Don't trust bodies. They're plotting on us, man. Jump down to that 19th verse. They were plotting on us, man. They are plotting on us, man. You could best believe that. And so these conscious community people that's going up against us, man, you don't understand what you're going up against, man. You're gonna find out that this thing is real. You got people calling the Bible comic book and all of that. It was a comic book. Why does he get you to swear on it when you go into court? How come he's not using the Quran, the Gilgamesh Eptet, the Egyptian book of the dead? Why is he using the Bible? Show me any other book that has these prophecies in it like the Bible. There's no other book on earth like this, man, that's actually already come to pass. Keep thinking it's a joke.
Kahan, it stops at 18. Did you want me to go to 16?
According to Wikipedia, the Biblical Apocrypha denotes the collection of apocryphal ancient books thought to have been written sometime between 200 BCE and 400 CE.
Yeah, 16 is heavy.
Yeah, read that. Bring that out.
Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 16. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagined how to throw thee into the pit.
See that?
He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. 7. If adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. And though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee.
Yep. I mean, you got some of your own that does that to you, man. We had one right amongst us that was doing this, man. So this is why the scripture, and I'm gonna hit you with something, man. When they start speaking kind, like, oh yeah, brother, yeah, let us join you. We understand. Scripture said, the Lord said, don't believe him. Get Proverbs, I believe it's 26:25. The Lord said, don't believe him. When he starts speaking fair, he starts speaking kind to you. Yeah, we understand. Yeah, we understand what your people's been through. Yeah, that was wrong. The Lord said, don't believe him, man. You try that spirit. You better try that spirit.
Proverbs 26:25. When he speaketh fair,
you hear this? I need you.
Not.
You better listen to this, JB. You better listen to this, Eleazar. You better listen to this, Ricky. Don't fall for the smile and the pat on the shoulder. Read that again up.
When he speaketh fair, believe him not.
Don't believe him. When he speak kind words to you, don't believe him. Read.
For there are 7 abominations in his heart.
Come. So that's what it is, man. That's all I had. That's all I had, man. Just, pay attention to what's going on, man. There's a hidden hand orchestrating all of this. Even though it's not supposed to occur, the government is pretty much controlling the media. The media is supposed to have freedom of speech, just like you are supposed to have freedom of speech based upon your religion. You understand? There's a lot of buffoonery going on, man.
It's 10 o'clock.
There's a lot of buffoonery going on, man. So, don't fall for the fuckery, man. Anyone else got anything? So no one got anything. We go ahead and actually end this. Thank everyone for listening. I guess like the video, share the video, listen to it again. If the message didn't come through clearly, maybe you'll receive it the next time, man. And by the way, man, hope to see, you guys at the seminar. We're gonna be actually doing a feast of dedication on that second day. And so to those of you that can make it, gonna let you in free, but we do ask that you donate $75 for, the food and so on and so forth. So, I mean, besides that, that's it. I'm gonna say shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom. Shalom.
Peace, bro.
Peace, bro.